Darren, Vince, Dince, I come to you on this, one of the most important weeks in LAFC history, with the storylines for this week's match. And the first one is the storyline that has been on everyone's mind for months now and has finally come true, and it's this. Is Heung-min's son the biggest signing in LAFC history? Just a few days ago, we signed Sonny, Tottenham Superstar, the best Asian player to ever play the game, and potentially the best player to ever play at Los Angeles Football Club. Darren, I think knowing all these new fans are joining the club, or at least might be tuning in to see their favorite player, what do you think, as the king of the casuals, they need to know about Major League Soccer and what's different about MLS versus the soccer they might be used to, either in the Premier League or, normal leagues?
Sure. I think different than normal leagues is definitely an Americanized experience in the sense that there's like playoffs instead of promotion relegation. Part of why it's so exciting and why LAFC fans are so excited that we have Son on the team now is that normally there are a lot of rules that really hamstring the teams in order to create greater parity amongst the teams. So between no promotion relegation and playoffs and these rules that make it, you only have 3 DP slots, 3 slots to spend a lot more money beyond the salary cap on players.
The designated player slot, the DP slot, is you have 3 players you could pay whatever you want, and everyone else has to be under the salary cap. That's what that means.
They do hit the salary cap at a higher level, but at a capped level. To your point, Travis, you could pay $100 million. They will still hit the cap at the maximum budget charge, which I think this season is about $620,000.
Right. So you can blow past it with these 3 slots.
And you should.
Right. Yeah. And so teams do, but beyond that, they can't. And so between all of those things, you end up with a lot of parity, which means you can be pretty far down on the table and still have a good shot at making the playoffs. And then the playoffs come and it's a different sort of format than you might be used to. And it's almost anyone's game. And the charge towards MLS Cup, there are obvious best teams, but if you're not having a good season, you could still pull it together. And there have been instances of teams pulling it together at the last minute and making amazing comebacks, moving up the table enough and winning MLS Cup. It creates an interesting dynamic in the dog days of summer that we're in right now, where the season can feel a bit like a roller coaster and you don't know whether all hope is lost or not. But it kind of never is. What else can I tell them?
I think that is a really good thing. It's actually a positive about Major League Soccer in a weird way, where like in a lot of these top leagues, you know who the champion is weeks before the season ends. And you're just playing sort of lame duck soccer for promotion and relegation. Anything can fucking happen at the end of the year in Major League Soccer. And so if you like chaos, if you like true randomness, if you like the first seed Messi getting kicked out by Atlanta United, a team that barely did anything all season long, but was able to beat him in 2 games, and suddenly Lionel Messi can't win MLS Cup anymore. If you like chaos and belief and hope in a team that maybe feels hopeless at times, you're going to like this league. And I think that's what makes Major League Soccer so fun, for me at least, is it reminds me of college sports in a lot of ways, where it's just like, it may not be the prettiest version of the game, but it sure as hell is going to be fucking fun. And you're going to watch some really, really insane things happen more frequently than you will in other leagues.
I think the other thing that is worth keeping in mind that comes out of the restrictions on roster moves is that it means there's an interesting combination of teams not having the depth that you might want and schedules that are jam-packed because you have tournaments going on during the season, like Leagues Cup that we just did, Club World Cup we had this season, there's CONCACAF Champions Cup. So you play a lot of games, and the US is bigger than most countries, so you do a lot of travel. And that means there's a lot of roster rotation. There's teams that play on turf instead of grass. There's injuries. So a big factor in a lot of teams' success is their ability to rotate and have depth pieces and be able to rely on their star player. So Son has come at a time when LAFC is in need of both, and he certainly checks off the star player box.
Vince, anything we missed in terms of what people need to know about either the league or the team?
The star player is important. I think in this league, you learn so much that your stars have to be your stars. They have to be there in the biggest moments. We learned that in the MLS Cup final when Gareth Bale had that header. When your star, and to Darren's point, because you have a limited amount of slots to have, bona fide world superstars in, when you miss on those or they're injured or they're not performing, it's not much you can do. You can hope that another guy plays up to a level. Like I remember Jordan Morris from years ago before he was DP was playing at a DP level on a lower contract. Like Seattle reaped the benefits of that because then they could fill in those other slots with stars making more money. But you can't count on that. Like that's just kind of like a sweet spot that every once in a while you land in, and eventually, as happened with Jordan Morris, you got to pay that guy. I mean, we've seen that with LAFC as well, where like guys played better than they were, or the team had success with them, and then the guys were like, "Hey, pay me. I deserve to be paid." And MLS rules basically say, "Sorry, guys, not much you can do. If you can fit them under, you're gonna have to lose somebody else or miss out on something else, or you move them on." And LAFC, it is what it is. They've decided at times to move guys on. They haven't really been precious about some of the things, and I think that's something different for if you are a new fan of MLS. I mean, Son will be here, but there will be a lot of players turnover, a lot more turnover than you're used to. Like Son and the team he played for in Tottenham, a lot of those guys were together for a long time. That will not be the case with LAFC. It's built into it. It's not LAFC's choice per se, but the league builds it into it, and you have to make hard decisions, much harder decisions than I think almost any league in the world has to.
Also, with respect to LAFC, it's also worth noting that, I mean, this is true in MLS in general, but more so than other sports in America, this is maybe more similar to other soccer leagues in the world. This is a very community-oriented team. There's an amazing fan community here, and if you want more resources and information and things, it is very easy to find. The LAFC subreddit is a great place for that. If you want to join our Patreon, the Discord is like lively. You will find fans here that want to welcome you with open arms and give you everything you need to make your experience as a fan more fun.
Stay off Twitter, I'd say. Stay off Twitter pretty much. But
I mean,
other places,
that's an across-the-board rule, though.
We're not physically able to stay off Twitter.
It's wired
but if
into
you
my
can help
brain.
yourself.
If you want to become an LAFC fan, the single easiest way to do it is to Google 2022 MLS Cup extended highlights and watch all 10 minutes of that video. And by the end of it, you will be a fan of LAFC. Okay, so that's our first storyline, all about Son and his impact on this club and what it's like to be a fan of this league and how fucking bizarre it is.